How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and as you guys see by the title and thumbnail, today we're going to talk about two new players that the Aggies could possibly sign that they have interest in. Two players with terrific Division I experience. So let's get straight into it. The first player we're going to talk about today is Bryce Baker. I actually kind of like that name, pretty cool. He played for the Winthrop Eagles last year, Division I school. Had his best year of his collegiate career so far. He's played 3 years total. Averaged 7.3 points and 3.1 rebounds per game, which were both career highs. Shot about 58% from the free throw line, which might not seem great, but it was his best in his career as of yet. Shot about 40% from 3, which is great. It's crazy how he shot 40% from 3, but couldn't make free throws. But, again, Aggies are accustomed to, picking up players like that, so I wouldn't be surprised if we pick him up for that reason alone. Shot 41% from the field itself. His first 2 years are at Old Dominion, where he didn't play as well as his past year at Winthrop, but his first year averaged about 3 points per game as a freshman. Shot poorly from the field and, from the free throw line. Second year was a little better, but still shot poorly. He averaged about 5 points a game. So his last year was his, first chance he really got to prove himself at the Division I level and get a whole lot of PT and just be a very effective player overall. He's a 6'5", 200-pound guard, so a big guard, really strong dude. He played in 34 games for the team, started in 5 of them, played about 20 minutes a night. So not bad at all. The year prior, he actually did play, about 19 minutes. So I guess he did play, just wasn't as efficient. So this past year, like I said earlier, his first really efficient year, and hopefully the Aggies can look more into him and he can be even more efficient with us. Maybe Coach Hooten, the coaching staff, can develop him. I feel like Terriante Thomas is really good at developing players. We had a guy last year named Jeremy Hart on our coaching staff that was really good at developing players, and he was at SMU last year. Not sure where he's going now, but if we could even get a development coach like him, that'd be great. I'm sure the coach we have right now will do just fine. I believe we saw Preston Laird. Payne Andrews is at SFA now, Stephen F. Austin. So, it's a little upsetting when I have him. He was really close with Coach Hooten. But a lot of times you're just given better opportunities and you gotta do what you gotta do. Like Zach Settembre, who is the head coach in Mexico Highlands. He's actually doing pretty good there. He's hiring a lot of, other coaches and signing a lot of great players. Overall, he's just recruiting a lot of players as well. So hopefully New Mexico Highlands can improve a little bit. And again, if we go against them, obviously try to demolish them. But at the same time, hopefully they do well in their conference and everyone they play against. Like I said, I think I mentioned one of my videos recently. I made a post about him on Twitter and all my social media accounts on Twitter. He commented, "Go Cowboys." So it's cool that he's still supporting the channel. I wonder if he'll do the same thing, like playing in Thailand, and I announce the game. Maybe he'll see, maybe I'll tag him and, he'll kind of make a joke, say, "Hey, go Cowboys," not Aggies this time. Even though he's, a big Aggie guy, obviously, whenever he was here. I would, talk to him frequently. He always say Aggie up and stuff, and he was always at all the events, and he was at the football games a lot. So, it was a really big support, and I'm hoping that he makes a great career out of head coaching, and hopefully works his way up to being a Division I coach one day, and I'm not sure if he wants to go any higher than that, but if he ever does, I'm sure he'll, get there eventually. The next player we're going to be talking about today is Jason Drake, another really cool name. Played for Drexel, the Drexel Dragons. Drake Drexel, kind of confusing, the DD. But he played there last year, averaged 11.1 points per game, a team high 3.1 assists. He's a good guard, gets his teammates involved, dishes it out, makes his teammates better overall, and also averages 3 rebounds a game. Pretty good for a guard, especially in college, and shot really well from the field and from free throw. He shot 86.5% from the free throw line, which led the team, just like his assists, and that's great. If you can have a guy who has a great assist-to-turnover ratio and can shoot the free throw really well, that's what the Aggies need, because again, the Aggies don't have a lot of great free throw shooters. Haven't had a lot of great free throw shooters in the past. Maybe this next year will be better. Gabe, he proved to be a pretty solid free throw shooter. Jacoby had his moments, but he also had his moments, as you guys know, in that Kennesaw State game. He did miss the one that would have tied the game, but he was also the one that grabbed that rebound and, had a chance, gave us a chance to win that game. Had an and one, just would have been nice for him to make it. But again, I already knew he was going to miss it, just not even just because of him in general, just knowing how bad luck we have with free throws. Like that Auburn game, that game felt so similar to that Kennesaw State game. A little bit of a different scenario, just because obviously the Kennesaw State game was just the first round of the Conference USA tournament, and then Auburn game was the first round of the NCAA tournament. But both, thrillers, both the first round of something. Hopefully the Aggies can, capitalize and make those free throws when it matters the most this upcoming season, limit turnovers, and I feel like having Jason Drake will definitely avoid all that, avoid any issues, and will be a lot better, and possibly have a 20-plus win season if he were to commit here. And we also looking at other guys like Isaac Williams. We have Omar Smith coming in, which is a great guard. Obviously, Gabe Pickens coming back. So I think we're going to be really guard heavy again. Just a really great team when it comes to that. But at the same time, I feel like it'll be good to get some more dominant posts. If we get some guys like the Shimanga brothers, if we could have guys like the Shimanga brothers and play the way that they did toward the end of the season, all season long, then I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Drake also shot an efficient 43% from the field and 40% from 3, which again were the best in his career. Drake actually played his first season of collegiate basketball at Cleveland State, where he only shot 50% from the free throw line, 29% from the field, shot a little over 30% from three. I think it was like 33% from three. It's kind of weird to see a guy's three-point shooting percentage be better than his field goal percentage, which means he shot better from three than from two. His free throw wasn't great for a guard. But in between, that gap year between Cleveland State and then this past year at Drexel, he did play community college basketball at Butler Community College, averaged just under 10 points a game, averaged 3.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 3.4 rebounds, sorry for that, and shot about 73% from the free throw line, shot a lot more efficient from the field, just around 40% from three, then a little over 40% from the field. So it just was a lot better of a player, the year prior to this one at the community college level, and that was able to come back and play even better at the Division I level. So sometimes that's all you need to go. You need to play JUCO for a little bit, which means that he should have 2 more years of eligibility. He comes here, it'll be his 4th year, but then after that he should have 1 more because the whole poverty rule. The whole rule is crazy. I was talking to this girl Simone yesterday, who's on the track team here. She was telling me how crazy it is and how one of the girls, like the oldest girl that's on, with the track team is like 22. She has more years of eligibility, but the coaches and stuff don't want to keep her around just because she's getting up there in age, getting a little bit older. I know 22, it's obviously young, but for college sports that is technically 21, 22 is when you should be done. You got guys playing like 24, 25 years old. Like last year, there was a 34-year-old Michigan State kicker or something like that. I can't remember. And he had like a wife and 3 kids. He was also a 31-year-old kicker last year. It's crazy to think, not this past season, but the season before. That's how it was. While we're on the topic of it, the transfer portal just sucks, straight up. Seth McGowan on our football team entered the portal again. He entered the portal back in December and then came back to the Aggies the next day and then went through all spring training, all spring ball. Didn't play in the spring game. Coach Sanchez held him out. And then he entered the portal again. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe he'll come back again. I don't know. Kind of reminds me how we had Trent Hudson last year as our best wide receiver the year prior to this last one. And he entered the portal, so couldn't play in that. I think he played against Liberty, but he didn't play in the bowl game, which we lost by 27 to Fresno State, unfortunately. And then he came back right after that. And then Coach Kill left. He stayed for spring ball. And then Trent Hudson, left again. So Trent Hudson, he stayed for spring ball, then left. Sorry, that was confusing. And we had a lot of guys leave after spring ball. We had a couple other guys leave. Sometimes, you got to go through the training and then see if you really click with the team. Our quarterback 11-5 is going to be a lot better for sure. We have Jalen Patterson, who's a really athletic, quarterback that can be good for the future. Not sure if Parker Awad or if Santino and Marucci will get their opportunities or if any of the quarterbacks will. But I feel like 11-5 is going to be the guys, what Coach Sanchez has said in a lot of interviews. Our receivers seem really good too. And my friend Isaiah, who I played basketball in high school with, had the lone touchdown in their spring game. So maybe he can be a good running back. But it'd be nice to get a little bit more. But, I'm not trying to go all into football. I love our football team. There's obviously a basketball channel. I just hate the portal in general. I think a lot of people are upset that we haven't signed anybody. I've been talking to a few guys about it through social media. It's hard to sign guys right now. There's such a big gap between the Power 4 level and then the mid-major level in Division I sports. And one of our defensive ends that we used to have here for the Aggies, Isaiah Reed, he's a big Aggie guy still. He said he'll be an Aggie till he dies. He loves the Aggies so much. But he's been talking about how bad the transfer portal is and how it needs to change. It just doesn't benefit mid-majors at all. And it really upsets me when I see fans of Power 4 schools really just complain like, oh my gosh, we didn't win the national championship this year, or oh no, we lost this round, we did this. It's like, dude, be grateful for the teams you have and the talent you get, all right? You guys are producing talent each year. When it comes to the mid-major level, you're lucky to even keep 3 or 4 guys, every year. And that's kind of the situation we're in. We're really going to only keep our freshmen, Gabe Pickens, Jacoby Osborne, and Marvin Cox probably. Maybe get a couple other guys. Obviously, we have Anthony coming in. We have our 2 freshmen, Omar and Nicholas. That's 6 guys. Maybe Pierre will come back. I'm not sure. I've heard he might go play overseas, go back home. I'm not too sure what he's going to do. Apparently, like Robert Carpenter could come back and put in a waiver. A lot of people don't know about Cook, but from what I know, he only played Division II for 3 years and played, Division I. I don't think he played JUCO anywhere. If he did, maybe he could come back. That'd be great. But I know he signed with the agent. He's trying to go to the league, I believe, NBA or play pro somewhere. I'm thankful that he stayed for those 2 years. Jaden Harris was with us for 2 years, but he entered the portal, and I was assuming he'd come back just because he had experience, with Coach Hooten for 2 years. Kind of reminds me of Pop Isaacs, how after Texas Tech, after his freshman year, the coach got fired, a lot of guys left, but he stayed just for him to leave the next year. It's like, well, why would you even stay if you still trusted the program, even though switching coaches and you leave again, right? I feel like beforehand they would know. And you can't really be mad at the players a lot of times because it's life-changing money. But it's just really upsetting. The situation is just really upsetting, and they need to change something about that. I don't know what they would need to do. You guys should actually let me know in the comments what you guys think that the NCAA should do to limit all the craziness that's going on in the transfer portal and just in college sports, as it is nowadays. A lot of people are kind of more like a pro league or semi-pro. As honestly what it's feeling like. I feel like for the longest time, obviously, athletes weren't being paid for their collegiate athletics, but at the same time, I feel like they deserve to get paid. but not this much. I feel like there should be a better way because all these guys are getting money, and it's just another, it feels like it's almost like the NBA. You're just playing for money at the end of the day. Because a lot of guys lose passion for the game because they, I can make $2 million. Oh, well, heck yeah. Oh, I played a bad game. Well, I'm still making all this money, right? Whereas before that, like, oh, I played a bad game. I need to play better the next game so I have a better chance of getting drafted. I remember like NBA 2K, that's how it always was in those my career stories. But now it's all just money, and it's just, it sucks. That's the way it is. I know Coach Hoon's really upset about it. I know I was a Jeff Gomer, I think it's something like that, who works for the Albuquerque Journal. Was talking about it, and Coach Hoon was, agreeing with him, pretty upset with how it all works. And again, they're on a podcast together, so they're pretty good friends. And obviously, Jeff's a former Aggie working for the Lobos, but still an Aggie at heart. So whenever we beat the Lobos, I'm sure he was, happy about that. But my point being is that there just needs to be a fix with the transfer portal. And I'm really hoping soon that I can give you guys a video where we sign new players, but it's just not easy. It's going to get harder each and every year. So shout out to Coach Hooten for working his butt off to try to get some new players. I know he's doing his best. I know the whole coaching staff is. Recruitment is just difficult in all sports, and for all mid-majors and low majors too. In Power 4 schools, they're always going to get big guys. So screw them, right? No, I'm just playing. But again, the whole situation is frustrating. Can't be met the players, just a frustrating situation in general. I mean, look at UNM. I mean, losing Donovan Dent to UCLA for $2 million. I believe he's from California, he's going back home. And then like your coach has a great coaching season, you lose them. Like they lost their coach. We lost Chris Jans after he won a tournament game. It's just how it is. Like if Coach Hooten this next year were to get us to a tournament, NCAA tournament, and win a game or two, he's probably going to get offered from some big schools. Maybe he'll be loyal and stakes. He wants to continue to build something, or maybe he'll leave. But again, you can't be mad at him for doing that because again, you're getting life-changing money. It goes all around that. We'll see how it all goes. I'm kind of just going on a ram here. That's not what this video is about. I guess it kind of is because we're talking about transfers and stuff, but you know what I mean. Going back to Drake, whenever he played community college basketball at Butler, he had 15 games where he scored 10 more. So he's a dominant scorer. Had one game where he had 21 points. Should have averaged 10 points a game. I think he was at like 9.6, but this past year averaged double figures in college basketball, which is great. If you could average double figures, average 20 plus, that's awesome. And he was able to average 11.1, so that's great for him. Yeah, while he was at Cleveland State, he averaged like less than 2 points a game. So just to see the improvement he's made is awesome. That's gonna close out for the video today. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant about the transfer portal in college sports nowadays. Just hoping there's a change for that, and hoping that these guys can commit somewhere, even if it's not us. Hopefully they can give another mid-major school some success, because us mid-majors are all struggling right now. Hopefully we can start signing some players soon and stop making videos about players that we could potentially sign, and actually make a video about players that we have signed. And it could be these two players we're talking about today. It could be about players we've talked about in the past. Just thank you so much for keeping up with the channel, and I'm out.